welcome to part 5 of Americans in Pakistan. In this episode, we take the long way around to the beautiful Hunza Valley and visit a 1,000-year-old settlement. Flight of the Crow's Wing presents
His both hands will come here. He will take his head first inside and then legs. In such a time there will be one person inside, then he could chop their head very easily.
You want to go to Pakistan?
Assalamu alaikum. बदल जाएगा खुशियों के दिन गुजर चुके हैं अब यादें दिल में बस गई हैं ख्वाबों की तरह आती हैं गहरी रातों में
It's germs.
Perfect.
We begin this video in Batakundi at our Roomy Resort yurt high up on the ridgetop. We had a very enjoyable 2-night stay in our glamping yurt. Even in Pakistan, our lizard overlords watch over us. Those that know us know that I frequently take lizard pictures everywhere I go. And now, the lizards of Central Asia in the bag.
My guess is 10:30. No.
Elizabeth was a veterinarian for 29 years, and sometimes she misses the fuzzy creatures.
What's his name? Brownie. That's a good name. If we find another one, we can name it Sunday.
It's appropriate to name him after foods, since he probably won't make it past this Eid. Our original plan for today was to visit the Lalazar Meadows. We were going to head north to Karimabad in the Hunza Valley tomorrow. Under ideal conditions, this route would take us 7.5 hours to get to Karimabad. However, there was one little problem. The pass at Babusar top at 13,700 feet of elevation was covered in snow, creating a barrier to travel. As a group, we made the decision to skip our day at the Lalazar Meadows and make our way north by traveling south. We would travel south to New Balakot and then cut over to the Karakoram Highway. We were disappointed in losing a day, and the extra distance would make our trip to Hunza a 17-hour bus ride instead of 7.5. It's a bummer, man. Some days it do be like that, though. I'm not going to say that all the hours on the bus were amazing. It was a lot of hours. But we got to see an incredible landscape that we'd never seen before in our lives. And we got to do a lot of trauma bonding with our family. And later, we learned that the Karakoram Highway is actually a destination amongst adventure travelers. We started out at 10:30 a.m. and the first leg of our journey took us to a long lunch break at the KPK Shinwari Dera. This is a family-style restaurant. We sat cross-legged on a raised platform and shared all the dishes. Large screens provided diners with privacy. This meal was really very good. Maddie got to try out her translation app. Of course, I had to stop and take a photo of this beauty sitting in the parking lot. I believe it's a 1990 Land Cruiser LX. Leave a comment if you know more about this truck than I do. We loaded back onto the bus and began our trip on the Karakoram Highway. We soon stopped for a police checkpoint at the Kuzabanda Toll Plaza. This would be the first of many checkpoints we had to go through.
Don't tell me they have more people.
Oh my gosh. That's the last thing we need is more foreigners here.
Why are there so many white people here?
I know.
Tuberculosis used to kill a lot of people.
apparently foreigners don't travel through here a lot, or they're not allowed to. So we need a police escort to get us to our hotel room tonight and then on up through to Hunza. So we're waiting on our escort. And there's a crowd forming because there's another white person invading our white person territory. He's a Frenchman. Apparently waiting on his escort also.
And there's a Chinaman.
There was a Chinaman here just a few minutes ago. He was not allowed through. They escorted him out that way.
It's because it doesn't have very many airports, so it's hard to
And that's not a suspicious looking Ollie.
Major issues is Chinese people, right? Because they were attacked 2 months ago over here, so 6 or 8 people died.
Over to northwest Pakistan. A suicide bomber rammed an explosive-laden car into a vehicle carrying Chinese workers on Tuesday, killing a total of 6 people. 5 Chinese nationals working as construction workers and engineers on a dam project died, as well as their Pakistani driver in the attack in the district of Shangla. The 5 Chinese engineers were working on the Dasu Dam, Pakistan's biggest hydropower project. The attack comes less than a week after a vehicle carrying Chinese citizens came under fire from Balochistan Liberation Army militants outside the Chinese-funded Gwadar port in the volatile southwestern Balochistan province. Thousands of Chinese laborers work in Shangla as part of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, an area of significant investment as part of China's Belt and Road Initiative.
What is the CPEC, you say? Well, let me tell you, and I'm going to have to read this. According to the cpec.gov.pk website, the CPEC is the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. It's a $62 billion 15-year project to improve infrastructure in Pakistan and connect the two countries' economies. Pakistan gets project funding for roads, power grids, and developing infrastructure. China gets a shorter route for energy imports from the Middle East. They seek to develop a deep water port at Gwadar on the Arabian Sea and establish a robust road and rail network to western China. Not all people are happy about the project going through their region of the country, and as a result, there's a lot of strife. So in order to protect the Chinese nationals that are working on the project, they are not allowing Chinese to travel through this area of the country without official business, and anyone who's not traveling on official business gets taken around a different way. And as a result, all foreigners have to have a police escort to travel this corridor.
3 or 4 days ago, a Chinese guy was traveling in vessel movers. That's a bus service, right? Intercity bus service over here. So they stopped the car, they detected him, they told him that you cannot go further, you have to fly and you cannot travel by road. Okay, the reason why they do is, that's because this is cheaper to travel by road and cross over to China from the border.
Okay.
Okay, and they have businesses over here in Hunza and in Islamabad, the Chinese people, right? Yeah. The residents of China. So that's why they need to travel this way. So that guy held on to the seat that I won't go. I came in this car, this van, and I'm gonna go. And it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. Then another vessel mover was coming from that side, so the police stopped it. So this guy could be put into that car, and all of the passengers, they got frustrated and they pulled him off the and
Like, we have to go, okay? You need to get out of here.
Oh my god!
Because the coaster, it had stopped for 3 whole hours because of that guy.
Oh my god.
Oh man, French is in the way. I can't see it.
Why is yours so windy? Where are these French guys going? It looks like they're moving.
French guys. French guys or French guys?
Oh, maybe that's like a
Two French guys.
2 French guys.
Oh my god, in their boxes they have croissants. Yeah, 2 croissants. They have croissants in the boxes, I'm telling you.
Croissants?
Croissants have bread.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't tell you.
That's the sound of the police. Whoop whoop. It's the sound that I miss. And now you can't be monetized.
Two lovers forbidden from one another. A war divides their people, and a mountain divides them apart. Built a path to be together. Yeah, I forget the next couple lines, but there it goes. Secret tunnel, secret tunnel, through the mountain. Secret, 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 secret tunnel. Yeah.
I was like singing the song, and then mom and dad started singing with her, and we just thought she made it up. At least covered.
We had a couple more checkpoints we had to go through. At one checkpoint, the police car we were following pulled over, and an armed policeman boarded our bus, and he was required to ride with us the rest of the way to Besham City. He even sat outside the restaurant that we had dinner at while we were eating dinner, and then got back on the bus with us.
I gave you your passport, right?
Yep, I got it right on my lap.
As night fell, we entered into Besham City. Traffic picked up and got bad enough that, we were stopped in traffic. And at one point we were stopped, and the police officer said something to our driver, Mustafa. And it turns out he said that he was getting off here, and we would be okay to drive on to our hotel by ourselves. I'm not gonna lie, when he got off the bus and, he's in a crowd of people, it felt a little sketchy. And I got a little nervous. But we did make it to our hotel and got to see the not so plush accommodations. Okay,
Shangri-La.
tell me, how does the door work?
Well, you see, if you want to lock your room, you have to go outside, put that down, and then you use your padlock. Everybody has their own personal padlock with their room number.
And it's not like somebody could lock you in your room at night.
New fear and locking.
So they have locks on the outside and on the inside, which is interesting.
Yeah.
There's no lock on the inside.
There's no lock on the inside.
Up here,
Oh wait,
yeah.
there is a lock on the inside. You just throw that. But somebody could easily lock you in. This is a good hotel. Yeah. I feel safe. Look, we got a bathtub
Yay!
and 2 toilets. We can go at the same time.
Great. Something is dripping over there.
Yeah, I think it's filling our trash can.
So this is our bathroom to our hotel room. And where are we at?
Besham City.
Besham City. It's about 100 degrees in here.
I'd like to say that this was the seediest hotel we've ever stayed at. We've stayed at some pretty sketchy places over the years of travel. No, wait, scratch that. This was the seediest place we've ever stayed at. Although we have paid 6 times the amount for a place that was almost as bad in upstate New York. I'm looking at you, Watkins Glen. So at this point, we discovered we had a new concern. Traffic at the Dasu Dam construction site was restricted to only a few hours in the morning, And it's a 3-hour drive to get there from where we're at in Besham City. In order to be up there on time, we would all need to be punctual. So Omer had to lay down the law for us.
Okay. So we have to be in the bus at 3 a.m. There are road closures at Dasu, and the roads are only open between 6 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., then closed from 7:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. If we miss the morning window, we will not make it to Hunza, and all our work today would be for nothing. We must, and I mean we must be at the bus with all our stuff by 2:45 a.m. We cannot afford to lose this window. We can do this, team. We've gotten this far.
Not too much goat traffic, is that what you said?
Yeah.
So hopefully we don't run into too much goat traffic.
How far away is this?
I think it's like 2.5 hours. I think it's a construction site. Morning, Mike.
Morning.
How'd you sleep?
Never thought I'd say I'd missed the Airbnb.
Good morning, Madeline.
Good morning.
It's like a $30 motel, and I thoroughly enjoy my sleeps with my cigarette-burned sheets and the cockroach in my bathroom. We became fast friends. It's great.
Soon the dawn arrived and we were greeted with the sunrise over the Karakoram Mountains and the view of the Indus River swollen with recent snowmelts. We made it to the Dasu Dam construction area. I wish we could show you more of what we saw, but we were tired and did not film much. Instead, we'll leave you with a clip of the official video from the WADPA website. If you want to learn more, there's a link to the website in the description below. This is where the Kandia River meets the Indus. Not long after, we had to stop. Must have needed a break, to rest, and to get some tea before continuing on the journey. We stopped at one of the way stations along the route, specifically Sumarga. It was great to stretch our legs, drink some tea, and use the facilities. The proprietor let us use their personal toilets instead of the ones used by the passing truck drivers.
Hi, neighbors, what's up? Where have you been? Where you from, boy? Boy? You.
I think Mike might have a bright idea. If you think you know what Mike's thinking, let us know in the comments. And here's the view from the way station to the Indus River. We were told that this will all be underwater once the dam is completed. Back on the bus and heading down the highway, we started to notice what appeared to be large numbers of abandoned buildings on the far bank of the river. They didn't seem to have roads or streets associated with them. When asked, Mustafa said that these houses were built by people with the purpose of claiming some of the relocation funds that are to be distributed to the people being displaced by the rising waters. It's not obvious at all.
It's your turn if you can.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great.
Good, Baba. Good. Daddy is good. Daddy is best.
I thought you were going to rhyme something else with it.
What?
Green.
No, it's
Your turn.
my
It's green.
Wait, it's my turn.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. I say yellow.
Our next stop was a geographical attraction. It was called the Three Mountain Ranges and Two Rivers Overlook of Shaglot. It rolls right off the tongue. In this day and age, almost every one of us has a phone with a great camera on it. And you'd think that with all those cameras and our SLR cameras, we had 2 of those, and this beautiful scenery that we had, that we'd be able to take some amazing photographs. But this is what we got.
Basically what you're looking at is...
What am I looking at?
So on this side you have the Karakoram, Himalayas, and on the right you have the Kush Mountains.
Into Kush, Himalayas.
We were mistaken and corrected by a local tour guide, so we had to do a voiceover.
So we're standing at Jagot where the 3 peaks meet together. The left side, that's the Hindu Kush going into Afghanistan. In the middle, those are the Karakorams, which are going into China from Pakistan. And on the right side are the Himalayas. Now you can tell with my voice, those aren't my hands. All of those mountains are basically part of the same system.
Here are some of the top-notch portraits we took. At least Rizwan and Biji were trying to pose. An almost portrait of Sabrina. Where are Elizabeth's eyes? Oh, I see it now. Chinese. Okay, Mike. I have no one but myself to blame for this one. Ain't no filters gonna fix this. In all, I'm not sure how they decide where one mountain range ends and another mountain range begins. If you know, leave me a comment. It was striking how green and lush the valleys were compared to the bare rocks and snow of the mountains. Soon we arrived at the Hunza Valley at the southernmost point of the Hunza district. For the next several days, we'd be staying at the Roomy Dastaan Hotel. We staggered off the bus and went to our separate rooms to crash for a bit. Dinner time came, and we were craving American food, so we decided to meet at the Burgerville restaurant. It was the first of many very disappointing cheeseburgers. That's our view from the hotel room. So, we have whatever this sheepy thing is. It's an ibex. He's beautiful. Get it? Ibex. He got the crazy eye. In the morning, Elizabeth and I went for a short stroll along the streets.
Nice.
Very pretty.
The yak bike. only Hunza Valley.
Soon it was time to get back on the bus to go see some sights. Yes, this was the volume level on the bus. Everyone was particularly vociferous this morning. Mustafa expertly guided the bus through the narrow winding roads to the historic Ganesh settlement.
Historic Ganish settlement.
For you dogs that are watching, that's 7,000 years in dog years. Once again, we had to pay the foreigner ticket price. 300 rupees for a native, 500 rupees for foreigners. First stop on the tour was a refrigerator.
Peel is, very soft. Inside there are layers like thin papers. So we'll separate layers from each other and we wrap the butter in such a bar. In ancient time, when we had nothing to tie with any unrottable thing, we used to make wooden strips of juniper wood. So juniper wood has two types. One is red, which is very hard. Second one is white. White one is more flexible. If you will catch it with piece from one side and pull up to end of wood, tiny strips come out. So we join 3-4 strips with each other and make a little bit longer strip, and then we tie with that one, and we bury in this land. We make this pit nearby any running water channel. From this water channel, the pit water used to enter inside, and that cold water keeps the pit cool.
Elizabeth found this video online showing the local tradition of aging butter. Link in the description below.
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it.
Tribes used to attack and kill and rob each other. In such time, it was not safe to make houses openly. That is why these people decided to live inside a fortified village, fort-type village. So they select this place because it's backside to our river. There was cliff on 90 degrees like a standing wall, and it was impossible for anybody to enter from the backside. It was naturally safe. On the front side, they made high compound wall. With compound wall, they made 14 watchtowers as well. These watchtowers were used as bunkers. From these watchtowers, they could watch their enemies when they were reaching in the effective range of their arrows. Then they could shoot arrows on their enemies. This water tank was also their defense strategy. They thought in case if we shall be surrounded by any invading troops, and it will be difficult to go out to get water, then what shall we do? For that purpose, they used mud and stone from the same place for construction of their houses. When they did a lot of construction inside, it automatically became big water pond. So, and they fixed a wooden pipe of juniper wood from this water tank to middle of the village. In case of such any emergency, these people would become surrounded by troops. So instead of opening this gate, going out and facing different problems, they could open that wooden pipe and they could get water safely. They had made water storage for emergency times.
Wow. We did find out that a lot of the methods used here at Ganesh Village were used by several cultures all over the world, including North America. In the description, we'll leave you a link, if you're interested, that leads to the Hidden Hydrology website, to an article that shows that even until like the 20th century, they were using wooden logs for piping in London and Philadelphia. Neato!
So under your feet, this path was part of ancient Silk Route. When people traveled from China to India by foot, at that time this path was used. So behind that you can see a short door over there. So that was Caravanserai. So when travelers reach over here at afternoon, they could stay over there.
Bonjour!
Horses, mules, or camel, whatever they had in this. You come inside, I shall lock the gate and show you its lock system.
Rain frosting.
Nice solid wood key.
Wow.
Wow.
This was the lock system. So in ancient time, this stick was this much thick and heavy, but now I can't handle any heavy stick because 2 years ago I have bypass operation of my heart. That is why I am handling very light one. So in this place here was a small hole as well. They fix this like this. And from here they fix an iron rod into that hole. Gate was becoming locked. As I told you, opening up this gate during the night time was considered traitor with village because they consider themselves unsafe. They used to open only in daytime.
Come on.
I can actually fit under here. There's so much room.
I like how many layers of.
Anyone ahead?
I heard the thud.
Yeah, that was me.
Watch this. It's impenetrable. It's impenetrable.
I usually wash my hair because I do.
So these are memorial masks. You know, this is human nature from very beginning. People want to keep alive their name in society after they. For that purpose, in your big cities, people make a memorial school, college, or all tracks are going. Their name is very thorough. Then one of those, then all tracks started with small mosques like that.
Can't take your feet inside.
लोग अभी पढ़ते हैं अभी लोग
जी जी बिल्कुल
क्या नाम कितने बजे होगी
12:30
यहाँ पढ़ के जाऊंगी
When Muslims want break, they can't actually at 12:30 because that's the.
from original, while rest of them came from different places. So mostly from Sikardu and Yasin Gaza district, and each house was double story. In the lower story, they never keep any window because they were scared of being them. So in the middle of the roof of the living room.
Got it. Track for the pharaoh. That's smart. Next time I build steps in a garden, I'm going to include a wheelbarrow ramp. Yes, size just right for hobbits. Or Sabrina.
And 35,000 of them were ladies as well, strong warrior ladies. Anyway, these 95,000 people mostly belong to 3 big tribes of Greece. And one of them tribe was called Ionian. In Greek language, Ion means the bull. So under your feet, this place was commonplace.
You had to be careful wondering about the settlement, as apparently it's still occupied by locals and livestock. Our tour guide told us specifically not to film the women. We were careful not to film any of the people we saw, Frenchmen excluded. But the animals, they didn't seem to mind.
They had
Next, we got to check out the watchtower.
He will put on the way here, his both hands will come here. He will take his head first inside, and then in such a time there will be one person inside, and he could chop their head very easily. That is why they made this entrance a little bit difficult. And above there made that bigger door. From that bigger door, they could throw stones, they could throw fire and hot ashes, they could throw boiling oil.
War. War never changes.
For that kind of activities, they made that one a little bit bigger, and they made this one a little bit difficult. That no any enemy should enter easily.
So if the one who owns, who is inside the tower and gets in the side, so do they come through the legs or the head? I do not mean the invaders.
So, in case of invasion, if enemies will reach over here, so the watchmen used to stay in these watchtowers, so they could fight against those invaders.
For regular days, like if you were a watchman and you were supposed to give duty, you'll just enter the whatever way was easier for you.
Yeah. You done my stuff? I'm gonna take a picture of it too.
The lighting is really good in here. Hi.
Look, Mom, we found Brownie's twin! Sunday! Sunday!
The tour led us back out of the settlement to the pond. While some people wanted to hear the tour guide discuss ancient trade, other people, no names mentioned, wandered off, seemingly more interested in how they use tree parts to make tie-down points in masonry walls.
Very clever.
She did eventually wander back to have her photograph taken with Ifit. Ifit was very happy to see her 3 children back together. Aw, there's nothing like a brother's love. Our portrait taking here was a little better than the ones we took at our 3 mountain ranges and 2 rivers overlook. The Ganish settlement was a great introduction to the history of the area and definitely worth a visit. It had something of interest for everyone.
G78, 15.
Oh, when did they make those?
Those were like 68 to 73. Whereas everybody else was doing something else.
I mean, ancient by today's tire standards.
On these walls,
Beautiful.
But that was the best quality you could get.
Wow.
They're amazing construction.
this is the sign of
Yeah, stood the test of time.
Yeah. Bias ply. You can't beat it for ride quality.
1,000+ years.
Next time on Part 6. We tour a couple of forts over the next couple of days.
Our little princess baby girls. They're the most beautiful girls in the world.
We visit the Alteet and Balteet forts, and Madeline tries to find a decent cup of coffee.
If I didn't have ears, it would be very difficult